All right, draw lines tool is located right over here. It's a little pencil. Hover over it. Your shortcuts, Control or Command L to bring that up. Let's just do that right now. Control L. Bam. All right. What's really cool about LightBurn, I'm using 1.7.4, is there will be hints whenever you're utilizing the tool. If you select different tools, hints will pop up and different things. Down here, press the S key to toggle between smooth and corner point mode. Now you can see on the cursor I'm in corner point where it is a hard corner. If I hit S right now, you can see that it's the bottom right of the cursor that changes to a smooth curve, I guess you could say, or a smooth indication as opposed to the corner. So with the corner, this is for straight lines, hard corners. On your workspace, you utilizing your mouse, you will left click, you can let go, and now anywhere that I drag this will be my second point. If I want hard stops or hard angles, I can hold down the shift and you can see it brings up this this wheel here where now I have 45-degree increments that I can go around from the point that I initially selected. So drawing a straight line, going all the way across here, and then I'm going to left click again if I want to continue making more points. So what, and I'm holding down the shift still. Wherever from that point, now again in 45-degree increments, I can go around and make another line. And then I want to finish this off, and now I have a triangle that I just created utilizing the line tool. Ctrl+Z to undo that, and we'll just show that if I want just a line, I'm going to left click, drag out to wherever I want, left click again, and then I can right click, and that stops adding the additional lines there. So now I just have a straight line. I utilized this method when I created the fence for my laser, and how the laser just went across a line and then stopped and then went across or down a line to create that fence on my laser. And up here I will put a link where you can watch that video. It's older and I am a lot worse than I am now at making videos, but it's there. So what's actually happening here when we're doing this is we're creating node points. That's each time you click, you are putting a node point, and then in between those node points are the lines or the curves or the vector paths for the shapes or whatever the lines that you are creating. To visualize this, we can go into our edit nodes, select this line that we just created, and you can see that those are the two green dots there. Those are the node points, and then the line in between them is the vector path in between those node points. Let's get back into our draw lines here. Ctrl+Z to undo that line. Now, we talked about S toggles between smooth and corner point mode. So S, we're going to click, and we're going to click again. And now you can see outside of that second node, two handles have been produced coming out of the node that we put down. Now those handles, once we finish all this up, are going to allow us to modify that point or that node point even more, whether it's obscuring that curve or that corner or whatever. But that just brings up the handles. But you can see here, I don't have anything clicked right now, but I am able to adjust and modify the way that this curve looks. And then when I select it again, now you can see that other node point has handles coming out of that as well. I'll just finish this off there. Now, if we go into edit nodes and select here, you can see these handles coming off of our nodes, and we're able to, again, edit and obscure these node points to get the shape shaped exactly how we want it to be shaped. Now, one feature that I didn't mention, but I just said continue on each of these shapes that we've created, is once I completed the shape that I was making and started back on the original node that we placed, LightBurn auto-joined that shape. And so it made it an actual closed shape, and you can see that if we go into the measure tool here. Amount of nodes, 3, curves, 3, closed or open, this is a closed shape. Now, if we were making the shape and it had this space in between where the two nodes were not touching or on top of each other, this would be an open shape. But because we completed that, it is now a closed shape. Same thing with the triangle. That triangle had the 3 shapes, and then we completed that triangle, it closed that triangle. I'm sorry I didn't show it on here. Let's delete this shape and then start again, and we'll do the triangle. I want to complete this triangle and make this triangle a closed shape. Now I can try and find where that node point is, and you can see where the cursor changes a little bit when the 2 node points are on top of each other. But it's really hard to tell, and you can see I'm struggling here to try and do it. Let's suck in here a little bit, and you can see if we're right on top of it. It changes. The cursor changes, so you can see that it's these 2 node points are right on top of each other. But again, I'm having to finesse that in there. On Mac, the shortcut here is going to be Option. On Windows, it's Alt. So if I'm moving this around and I hold down the Alt key and I bring my node to the old node or the first node that I put in there, it auto snaps. It's like a magnet. It grabs that node that I have and brings it in. And I'm still holding down Alt right now just so you can visualize what's going on here. But it is taking it and it is snapping it up to that point. You can also see it snapping it up to that line. So it's not going through, but that node point, there you go. So now I'm going to click, and now I have a closed point, or a closed shape. And again, we'll look at this. It's closed, nodes 3, lines 2, curves. One of these is a curves. Obviously, I was using S at some point while I was making this. Either way, it is closed because the starting node and the ending node are on top of each other. Again, like I said, when we were talking about the different tools and pop-ups and things that you can see, down here on the status bar, you can see the X and Y locations. But as I'm drawing a line, you can also see DX, DY, and LEN or LEN. So the X is the DX is the position on the X axis, the DY is the position on the Y axis, and you can see that this, as I pass that threshold on the Y axis, it goes positive and then it goes back negative. If I was going to be drawing this direction, the X would be positive, but the X is negative from my starting node. And then len is the length of that particular, or this particular line or segment that I am currently creating. So you can see right there, we'll hold down shift, so this is going in a straight line. And you can see as I'm holding down shift, the Y, or this dy, where this point is on the Y axis, is at 0. If I go up, or Y, I guess there you go. So that's 45 degrees up, but it's negative on the Y axis. Going down 45 degrees, it's positive on the Y axis. But you can see that length. That will show you how long this segment is. And 14, we're going to try to get it as close to 15 as we can there. And then if we go to measure this, you can see that segment length, 14.9720 inches. So you can see that on your status bar without having to go to the measuring tool and pull that up. So I think that's a pretty cool feature that they have in there. The other cool feature, must be in S. The status bar, I actually left off one other cool feature on here, and this will allow me to show you something else. If I want to continue this line, I can go to, we showed before, the hold Alt and go up to that point, click it, and now I just created an additional line segment off of that original line. So this is going to be the third node that I'm about to place. But if you see down there on the status bar, the degrees that I am, and this is from the initial line. So you only get that angle if you're doing a secondary line off of the first one. So we didn't see those degrees when we created the first line, but the second one we'll see it, and that is the degrees from that first line. Again, if we hold down shift, we can get 45-degree increments around there, and you can see 90 degrees, 135, we're at 45 over here, and that is off of that initial line. So really cool feature there. And then we're just free floating in here, 77, 67, so on and so forth. So obviously going up here, 120, or negative 120, excuse me, 132. So, all right, so if we go to make this line here, oh, actually, to get out of that tool, I hit escape, and that brought up the pointer. Clicking on that and then delete. So now, with my line tool, again, go to this node over here, click that. You can see that I'm actually, because of how far away we were, I'm actually inside of this line. So Ctrl+Z to undo that. Let's hold down Alt and go to this point. There you go. Now we're on the very end of there. We're going to quickly create a rectangle here, but instead of joining these together, I don't want to join these two nodes together. I'm going to go on top of them, or at least try to here. And you can see that brings it there. I'm going to hold down Control. Now down here you can see here where I snap to, and that will create a closed rectangle, but I don't want to do that. I want to hold down Control, and whatever, we could just move this other line over here. And if we zoom in, now you can see that these were not auto joined, or it didn't try and suck the node into the other node. Holding down Control will cancel the auto join feature. So there's that for you. Now I'm pretty sure I hit all the points for the line tool, but if I left something out, make sure to comment down below so that everybody knows what was missed, and we can all grow together and be better together. If you're liking this kind of content, I wouldn't mind a like or a subscribe if you have one of those in you for me. Also, if you have ideas about other videos that I should be doing, or stuff you'd like to watch, throw it down in the comments. Appreciate you, and we'll catch you on the next one.